listening to the Millennial's Choice Show, Canada's most trusted podcast on all things real estate, finance, and entrepreneurship. Here's your host, Matthew Ablakan.
Hey, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Millennial's Choice Show. I'm here with your co-host, Matthew Ablakan.
I'll take it. I don't need a title. All good.
So before we get started, guys, we recently just hit 5K on our YouTube subscribers. Yeah. Huge, and so exciting. Thank you guys for all the love and all the follows and subscribing. So yes, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on our videos below. We love hearing from you guys. We love seeing what you think about our videos, and we love creating content for you. And we have another amazing episode today for you guys.
We do. It's so in line. It's so timely with what we're talking about. We were kind of going, we don't have any scripts or anything like that, but we were going off the direction in one of our episodes where we were talking about the real estate market, then talking about things that I do differently compared to other realtors and why people, should have somebody like me in their corner. And then I say, you know what, this is a great episode topic for, realtors and how to run a business. Now, a lot of principles in running a business are the same.
Yeah.
And so this is very applicable to you if you're a business owner or you want to start a business or you want to just look good in front of the boss and get promotions and things like that. Yes. These are all principles that you need to have in your arsenal that you're applying. And so I thought it would be a good idea we talk about those and we get into that and talk about how to run a successful business, especially in this market,
100%,
in this economy where things are slower, and what to do to get new business and things like that through the door.
Yes, exactly. So give us some tips, Matthew, not just running a real estate business, but a successful business. What do you do differently than some of these other guys?
So one of the things that I believe in strongly is what Jim Rohn says, where you want to get paid more, become more valuable. You want to reach more people, become more valuable. You want to be more influential, be more valuable. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean that you guys, somebody's not valuable as a person or in the eyes of God or, the community, things like that. It's not about that. We're all equal and we bleed the same. But what we're talking about is a measure of wealth and economic value that you bring to society.
Right.
So how do you become more valuable, right? You can learn, you can read books, you can get a degree, you could get a certificate, you could get a license, you can study a particular area, become the expert in that area. And so you can become more valuable and then provide more solutions and more services to clients. And so that's something that I've lived by, because if I just want to earn more, I have to help more people.
Yeah.
How can I help more people? I have to become more valuable to people. So as a real estate broker, as an example, as a real estate broker, we are, limited to what we could do.
Yeah.
The buying and selling of real estate, investments, things like that. And then, we became more valuable when we brought on mortgage services. So to help out our buyers, that's one way we became more valuable. So now we're helping more people by getting them financing. And so the list goes on. You could do so many things, right? In the same line of work that you're doing.
Yeah.
And so becoming more valuable is the key to increasing your influence, to increase the money that you're making, and to just increase your business activities. How do you become more valuable? You could answer that for yourself when you're listening to this, watching this. You could totally answer that for yourself in that industry that you're in. And I'm not listing them in a particular order. And as you know, we don't script anything. So I'm just going off the top. Number 2 is you don't have a business without people.
Yeah.
And so if you're not treating people right, don't expect your business to last.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. If you're not treating people with the utmost respect and courtesy and customer service, if that's not a standard for you, then they'll go where that is the standard for them.
Of course.
So, nowadays, somebody wants me to go spend a lot of money on a particular product. And, if that person has poor customer service, it's like you're turned off, even if the product check marks everything off your list. You're turned off about going to that person and doing business with them.
Yep.
So what you want to make sure of is that whatever you're doing, customer service, excellence, treating people right, that doesn't mean you're a walking a walking doormat or whatever. You're not a doormat where people can walk on, I should say, but you're treating people right. You're doing right by them. That should be standard.
100%. We were just talking about that recently. I don't know if it was like after COVID, but honestly, like customer service is lacking nowadays. That's like everywhere you go though.
Not only is it lacking, I would go further to say that it's gone in the other direction where now you're going places and people feel entitled.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to come to your place of business to eat or to buy something if you have that entitled mentality.
100%.
Especially, no offense, Gen Zs and that kind of like, I don't know who you guys think you are.
Exactly.
But even especially millennials too. Like, I'm not knocking on anybody specifically, but Gen Zs, millennials, people that feel entitled, like, that's not how this works.
Yeah. These are the places that now have these tip options in place.
Yeah,
all
like
of a sudden.
I went to Five Guys the other day. They quickly took my order. I walked in. Hello, sir. How are you? I'm like, I'm good. How you doing? How can I help you? Didn't even answer my question. It's like a robotic thing.
Yeah.
I don't really care. I'm not going to build a relationship with that person necessarily.
Yeah.
But the point is, it's like just a little bit of acknowledgement. Have a conversation with somebody. I'm good. How are you? Good.
For sure.
What can I get for you?
At least you got, how are you? I go to places where they literally look at you until you say your order and you're like, okay, nice. Hi.
That too. I've experienced that too. So here's the thing. And then those people are expecting a tip.
For doing the minimum.
And I'm like, well, I used to work at restaurants as a waiter. I know why I deserve a tip.
Exactly.
It's because I'm serving tables. Obviously, I'm doing the best I can, treating people nicely, rightly, all that stuff. And then I could get a tip.
Exactly.
Why would I give you a tip? You're taking my order at a fast food place. I take my bag and then I leave and I go eat it at home.
Exactly. What did you do besides doing your job?
It does exactly. So the tip is just more money for them.
Yeah.
That is unnecessary. If that's going to ever become a requirement, I promise you that's the day I stop eating fast food.
Yeah.
I should probably stop eating now, but that's the day I'm done. I will never tip when it's not for service. So treating people right and all that should be number one.
100%.
Like in terms of like your standard.
Yeah.
That you need people to generate sales,
of course,
and revenues and things like that.
And that's why we have so much repeated clients as well. They want to continue working with you. They want to continue getting that respect and that friendship, because that's what you, honestly, besides like being your clients, they generate a friendship with you. Yeah,
we're friends with a lot of them. I wouldn't say all of them, but we're friends with a lot of them. People that can separate business and personal, it's always good to have that,
of course,
separation. However, people feel more comfortable when they're friends with you.
Yeah.
And so that's always a sales thing. It's a good sales thing. But at the same time, I just want people to know, like, hey, we're doing a transaction together here, but I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know where this relationship may go. So you keep it open and you develop relationships with people that way. But then, one of the other things I would say that is missing so much from people nowadays is branding.
Yep.
So example, Nike and Starbucks and these other companies charge more for their brand and what they stand for and all that stuff, and kind of the community that you become a part of if you buy their products and or services. And so branding is super important. Some people may be listening to this and they don't know exactly what Millennial Choice is or who we're affiliated with. We're completely independent. We don't have a bigger real estate company managing us. We don't have a bank or somebody managing us. We're completely independent. And why that's important, it gives me full autonomy to create a culture here of transparency, the way our office is designed, and even the glass that's in our office, in not just in the boardroom, but little pieces of glass that you could see in our office was done purposefully with intent by me when I was designing it to promote transparency if you're walking by the office.
Yeah.
So these are different things that I can do on my own that I wouldn't be able to do if I'm affiliated directly with another company. So branding is so important, and not misusing that as a way to lure people in, not misusing that, but using it as a way to say, this is who we are and this is who you'll be doing business with if you work with us. So branding yourself, I think, is very, very important. We could talk about social media. Maybe that's not on the top of my list. It's not at the bottom, but closer to the bottom, I would say.
But it's definitely important, especially nowadays, having that presence, right?
It's important, but I don't want to jump to it just yet.
Yeah.
Maybe later. But the next thing I would say is, how much money do you spend bringing in a client? So you get a lead. How much money do you spend on that lead? How much time do you spend on that lead? what does it cost for you to acquire a customer or a client, right? And so that number is very important, because what I see most people do is most people will have a large budget to advertise and spend marketing dollars on different modes of advertisement. And they'll do that because it's the system that they just keep getting leads in the door. They have to vet the leads. They have to go through the leads, spend time with them, and hopefully some of them purchase, right? I mean, we see it with what we're doing now. Now we're starting to do more of that. For 11 years, I didn't do any of that.
Right.
My only marketing that I would say I did is, besides free organic social media, is I would reinvest back into my clients. How do I do that? Well, number one, I would do like a barbecue in the summer. We would do the Christmas gala. We did all those things, up until COVID. And then we brought the gala back, the barbecue, not yet, but we're going to bring back soon. But I reinvest. Those events are not general events.
Yeah.
I want to invite now. It's specifically, especially now, it's by invite only for our clients. So that's one way I reinvest back in them.
Right.
By, getting everybody together. We have a party, we drink, we eat, we celebrate good times and all that stuff. Celebrate good times.
Our events are so much fun. So much fun.
But the point is I'm reinvesting back into my clientele that is already doing business with me.
Yeah.
And it's way easier to do business with people you've already done business with.
Of course, especially they trust you.
Yeah. Than new leads, new business persons or new leads.
Yeah.
So you're running this business. You need to understand those numbers, what they look like.
Absolutely.
You should still have stuff generating new business to get people in the door, of course. But I heavily invest back into my clients.
Right.
When we do that. So that's very important for me. Getting better, learning about, how to ask for a referral, learning how to properly, serve people and treat people. That goes without saying. You should always be learning.
Yeah.
Specifically when it comes to real estate, I notice now a lot of people saying, hey, business is slow. Like I'm not getting any phone calls. I'm not doing anything. I'm not busy at all. And what I say to those people is, well, now you're actually running a business. You guys got kind of complacent in 2020 and 2021, where the market was doing really well. And it seemed like you couldn't keep up with the demand, and people were just coming to you. They knew who you were. Obviously, the more people who knew you, you were getting more business, and things were so elevated that it was easier to get the business because it was coming in the door.
Right.
Now you have to go and chase it. And so go after it. And I tell people, I go, that's not a bad thing. That's what entrepreneurship is all about.
100%.
Going out there and chasing it and getting it, going after it and just getting it, right?
Yeah.
And so specifically in the real estate business, I'm telling these guys, you guys have to have a solid foundation to work from. So I'm going back through my database of people, calling everybody, calling leads constantly. You see me.
Yep.
Getting rejected every single day.
Yep.
Getting rejected. I've become so comfortable getting rejected. I don't look forward to it. I'm not trying to, I don't believe in, I got to get 100 no's just to get to the yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't operate with that mindset, because then I'm just kind of setting myself up for failure. That's not true. I could get 100 yeses in a row. It statistically might not happen. I don't think it would happen. But I look at everybody as there's an opportunity here. They're calling us for a reason. Let me see how I can help them out.
Yeah.
And so calling leads, calling my database. What am I saying to my database? Hey guys, how's it going? Is there anything you're going through you need help with financially or on the real estate side of things? Just having a conversation, understanding how their businesses have been impacted or their careers have been impacted. These are things that not only allow me to know my client better, KYC, it's so important, knowing your client, who you're dealing with, but at the same time, somebody might be going through something that they don't know that they can get help for, okay? And they don't know that they can get this type of financing, or they can do this with their property, and they could get some help where they need it. And so being touching base and being that touch point with your clients is so important.
Yeah.
If you're a doctor, I'll use doctors as an example, because they're so protected that a lot of them deliver the worst customer service. They get paid really well because of the system that we're in. And some of them, they don't do right by people, you know.
Of course.
Some people die in their hands, like by their mistakes. And so if a doctor, how many times have we gone and seen a doctor that we're like, oh my gosh, I felt so good with that doctor.
Yeah.
And all they did was, hi, Sarah, how you doing?
Yeah.
How's your day going? What brings you here today? They're listening to you. They're asking questions. They're taking notes. They're acknowledging what you're saying.
Yeah.
And they're responding to you. They're not reacting to you. They're responding to what it is you're telling them.
Exactly.
These are basic things that shouldn't they be standard?
They should be. They
should be not just for doctor, for everybody.
Yeah.
And then makes you feel comfortable.
Of course. I just want to add something to that. So for as long as I can remember, you've always said you wanted to keep this brokerage very boutique style, not a brokerage of 500, 1,000 agents, because you definitely want to keep like a close connection and know what your agents are doing. Has that obviously helped you run a successful business? I'm sure like being on top of everyone and being able to do that versus your typical brokerage of 500 agents, yet they don't even speak to the broker of record unless they need a signature on a paper. Has that been beneficial to you?
Yeah, well, the thing is, there's different business models out there in the real estate business.
Yeah.
So you'll find like a reputable brand that we could all think of when we think real estate. They'll have 200 agents, or let's use your example, 500 agents that work under one broker of record, one owner.
Yes.
Because each of those offices are independently owned and operated. So those big brand companies, though, the broker of record actually doesn't sell real estate for the most part. They're just managing people. They're like managers. So what they'll do is they'll charge a monthly fee to their agents, $500, whatever it is. And think about it. You got 500 agents. Do the math. 500 times 500 per month just to be part of that company. I mean, that's your cash flow right there.
Yeah.
So they give them the office, they give them everything they need, the system, and they charge them every month for it. That's a business model.
Yeah.
That's not a business model that I wanted.
Yeah.
There's a lot of turnover. Those agents move around. The unsuccessful ones move around. The good ones, the top producers, you're not making money off of them because they're top producers. They could go anywhere else and get a better deal. So you have to give them the best deal. That's the old brokerage way of doing things.
Yeah.
I've never liked that. I'm not a babysitter. I tried. I had a team of 14 people. I had the wrong people on the team. They're no longer with us. Most of them are no longer with us. It's not the model that I want to do.
Yeah.
So what I choose to do instead, boutique, and my model is broker to client directly.
Yeah.
We're dealing directly with people. So it's a completely different model.
Yeah.
It's not based off of desk fees or office fees or anything like that. Do we want to grow and have the right realtors and the right mortgage professionals on our team? Of course we do. But I'm not looking for people who are going to grow like with their own, business that they're going to set up and they're going to want to now go off and do their own thing. I'm looking for people who say, I want to be a company person. I want to be a person for this company, this brand. I believe in what you guys are doing. How do I get in? And in commission sales, we have business to go around. We have business that we could say, okay, you're a new realtor on our team, but you're experienced. We'll help you and all that. Take this client, take this file, work on it, right? And so that's the model that I'm choosing to build out right now because it gives me the most freedom, the least amount of headaches. I prefer dealing with clients directly versus a realtor that I have no relationship with. 500 of them, you don't have a relationship with every single one of them. That's why the turnover rates are so high.
Yeah.
But they're making a desk fee every single month.
For sure.
And that for that broker of record owner, that's all they want.
Of course.
That's all they want.
Of course. And I'm a strong believer that because of that, you're able to give back to your clients and you're able to give that, get on a personal level with them and also the customer service like we were talking about.
Oh yeah. Like if you're dealing with the same big brand that we could be thinking about now and you're dealing with a realtor there, you're not dealing with the owner of that brokerage, that company. That brokerage that owner will never know who you are.
Exactly.
Nor do they care because whether their agent does right by you or not, whoever's working under them, whether they're doing right by you or not, at the end of the day, their whole purpose is collecting desk fees from their agent.
Yep.
They don't care about other things. Now, there are some brokers of record who will say, No, we want to collect the desk fees, but we also want to build a proper business and train our staff to be happy and do well and all that. Of course there is. That's not the path I've chosen to take at this point in time. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But I guess, you know what, going back to the main point, the earlier point, know your market, know the style of business that you want to operate. Do you want to open up a franchise? You want to open up a pizza, or do you want to open up your custom owned boutique pizza store that's gonna serve the best products, right?
Exactly.
Maybe it's a little bit more expensive, but you know why it's more expensive, and you know what product you're producing. Quality, over quantity. But at the end of the day, that's different for everybody. That looks different for everyone. A lot of the realtors, sticking to my industry, they're so transactional. I want my commission. I want this. I'm doing this for this. I'm going to steer people away from this because I'm getting paid more here. You can't do that. Yeah. So you got to be honest, and you could kind of smell that off somebody. You could literally see them.
I was literally just going to say that we talked about this recently, where I won't mention names, but I'll give you the scenario. We were at a sales office and someone approached you saying that they wanted to go ahead and purchase 2 units for a certain project. Yep. And I remember, I was mind boggled at your reaction, because most agents would probably be like, oh my gosh, yes, honestly, super excited. Let's get this signed. I'm selling 2 units for the same project. Yet your answer literally mind boggled me. His answer was, and correct me if I'm wrong, you don't want to put it's not that you don't want to put all eggs in one basket, but you said, if you're going to buy 2, why don't you do one at this project? And then why don't we do one at this project for these reasons? Or I'll show you this other project I have. That literally was mind blowing to me. Not only because you were so honest with your client, but I also got from you and if I was that client, I would say, this guy is not all about the freaking number signs. In that moment, you were trying to get them to understand as to why you thought that was the right move for them. And you could have done the total opposite. You could have literally said okay, this client just switched from 1 unit to getting 2 now.
Yeah. And again, we have a policy here where we say, don't count the commissions.
Yeah.
Don't count the commissions. Don't think about the commissions. Call it a superstition or whatever. I don't believe in superstitions, but call that a superstition.
Yeah.
Don't count the commission. Don't think about the commission. Do the deal. Help the client out first.
Yeah.
In that particular scenario, it wouldn't make sense for the client to buy 2 there.
Right.
Because for them, they are putting all their eggs in that one particular basket. So for me, I say, if you're going to buy real estate, you do want to, I put all my eggs in the real estate basket, but I don't put all my eggs in one building.
Right.
I don't put all my eggs in one geographic location.
Yes.
I like to spread it out.
Yeah.
So based on that information and what I knew about the client, I said, if you're going to do that, let's tie up one. You really like it. You're ready to go. Tie up one. We'll look at another one. We will look at it today. We'll look at it tomorrow, but we'll look at a different location. It was a completely different location.
No, of course. No, that's awesome. And I truly believe that is a huge factor as to why you are such a successful entrepreneur. But yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, you got to be honest. You got to be honest and give people solutions and give people options. We give people multiple solutions, 2 or 3 solutions to their problem. That's all you're doing, is you're solving a problem. And why would they want to work with you versus somebody else?
100%.
What are you bringing to the table?
Exactly.
Again, back to value.
Yes.
We can do this. We could do that. We could do this. That other person can't do that. Also, this is what we do for our clients in terms of how we operate as a company. As we're pretty informed of what we're doing in here. If somebody calls you asking you for information on one of our listings, you're not the realtor, but you're capable of answering questions.
Absolutely. And if I don't know the answer, I'm going to respectfully tell them I'll get back to them or find out the answer and things like that.
Or you'll get me to call them, whatever the case may be.
Exactly.
So you got to run a smooth system, smooth operation. Nothing's perfect, but we're always getting better and we're always doing things. Also, I should have said this because I do talk about this often. One of the biggest things for us is education.
Yes.
You need to educate. Maybe it's my teaching background, my teaching degree. I love teaching. You need to educate. I hated going into places, even now, but it doesn't happen as often. And people withhold information from you.
Yeah.
Give me the information so I can make an informed decision. How do you expect me to make a decision? Based on pressure?
Yeah.
Based on sales tactics, based on emotion, which some people do.
Yeah.
No, I want to know all the information, and then I can make a proper decision. That's it. So give all the information, give all the resources possible, and then you get them to make an informed decision. And then they're able to now say, okay, I weighed all my options. I want to go this route. And they're better off for it. And they keep working with you and they keep doing things with you because you're educating them in the process of doing that. So
again, it's not just a transaction.
For us, it's an education-based approach to what we're doing. And a lot of people could do that. It's as simple as, where did I go recently where someone did that? And it was a small transaction. And I was like, so appreciative of it. I forget what I was buying, but I thought to myself, I go, this kid will go places.
Of course.
If he keeps this up, I forget where it was. I think it was like Canadian Tire or something like that.
Yeah.
Or Home Depot. I think it was Home Depot. And something like that happened. I said, yeah, this should be standard.
Yeah.
We're asking a question. We don't know everything there needs to be known about this topic, but I need this for this reason. Which direction should I take? What should I
know
buy?
exactly what you're talking about. It was you were trying to find the wood for that property of yours that you need to get. Yeah. Okay, I got it. I was trying to buy wood and plywood and stuff like that. And one guy who was helping me with it started giving me the information. But when I called this particular brand of store, number one, she was very dismissive with me. Like, this is all we have. That's it. And I was like, didn't even want to take payment.
And then I was ready to buy. Thank goodness she didn't take the payment because the guy found it for less than half the cost.
I know.
I didn't have an account set up with them, and I wanted to give them my credit card payment information over the phone, purchase an order, pay for it in advance so this guy could go pick it up. And she was so dismissive. Nope. If you don't have an account with us or nobody knows you here, we're not taking your payment. I said, oh, okay, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I called the guy back. I explained it to him. He's like, oh yeah, they do that sometimes. I don't know why. I don't get it. Don't worry about it. I said, don't worry. Go pay for it. I'll send you an e-transfer or whatever. He ended up finding the plywood for less than 50% or for more than 50% off.
Yeah.
And saved us like $300-400 bucks for what we were doing.
Yeah.
And also appreciative of 100%. That. And that company lost my business there.
100%.
Yeah.
And again, lack of customer service.
Yep. Their solution was not client focused.
Yeah.
It was whatever's convenient for them. You don't have an account with us. You don't this, you don't that. And so they didn't take my order. They lost my order. Yeah. Was that better? Was that losing that order as a business owner? It was about a $900 order. That was better than saying, okay, you don't have an account with us. I'll quickly open you one up. Cause I asked her, can you just open one up for me?
There was options. Yeah.
And she said, she's like, no, I have to send you the application or you come into the store. And we're talking in Aurelia, send in the application via email. You type it up, send it back to set up an account in a store that's kind of like Home Depot. It wasn't Home Depot, but it was kind of like Home Depot. And I'm like, come on, man, you're wasting my time here.
No.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think Carson has a question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. I'm going to put you on the spot again, Matthew. I'm sorry, but you're pretty young when you started this business. And I mean, I'm sure it wasn't all smooth sailing. So what's one regret you have with your business that you wish that you would have done better or done differently?
One regret? I try not to look at it as regrets. Like, I mean, we're recording today. You guys know what happened today with our special guest, with Danny. It's like, things happen. Was I for 1 second upset about it? Or
actually, the opposite of that. I was literally like in the car and I was like, how did this happen? Blah, blah, blah. Now we're doing this last minute. I was like flustered and you're like, you were keeping it cool.
I was like, what am I going to do?
Things happen. We're just going to move on from it. Carson's coming in. We're going to record regardless.
Yeah. I said, what am I going to do? But one regret, like maybe not a regret, but maybe something in hindsight that I could have done differently was I would have personally learned who to trust in business a little bit better because there were some people that I was affiliated with that didn't want the best for me. Mm-hmm. They wanted to have their thumb over me sort of thing and keep me down and keep me where I'm at, keep me stagnant, not growing and all that stuff. And meanwhile, they were actually promising other opportunities. And so that's a very dangerous position to be in because you're stagnant. You're not able to now grow because of, again, you're not your own unique brand. You're under someone else's brand, but then what happens is they're promising you this. And as a young person, I'm 22, 23. I started when I was 19, but when I'm 22, 23, now I'm doing well. Seeing and hearing that, it's like you doubt yourself. You don't have as much confidence in yourself. And so you're kind of reliant on what it is that they're telling you. And I didn't have a blueprint. We don't come from a family doing this. And so as a result, I kind of Carson, I would say I sold myself short early on in those years in my career.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that affected my growth at that time.
Yeah.
I think that's quite common with young people. They can easily get taken advantage of because, I mean, you're just coming out of school. You don't have any experience. You're happy making the salary that you are. And then, they're, like you said, they're promising a future that really they shouldn't be promising. No,
that never came to fruition for me. It was complete nonsense. But at the end of the day, I don't mean, you're young, you need to be arrogant. In the real estate industry, a lot of realtors are very arrogant. They have a bad personality, but that's not what I mean. But what I mean is don't sell yourself short. Know your value in that moment in time. If you're valuable, and she sneezed for the third time. Yes. Bless you.
Thank you.
Just know your value. Know your value in that point in time. Know your worth, right? And just go for it. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Versus letting someone else tell you what your worth is. Now, I've had people at our brokerage who have come to me and said, I want more. I want this much. And I go, okay, you think that's the approach you should take with somebody like me? Because I'm not going to, what were you going to say?
A client or like a team member?
No, like a team member.
Okay, got it.
And they've said that and I've said, well, is that really your approach? You're just going to demand it?
Yeah.
What are you going to do if I say no? You're going to go protest outside? Like, you're going to go on strike? Like,
yeah.
Go ahead. You're commission based. You're going to screw yourself over.
100%.
No, but that's not how the approach is. Every year when I was at this other company before Millennial's Choice, I would print out my year-to-date commissions at the end of the year. Here's how much I earned. Here's how much the company made. Can I get this?
Amazing.
Every single year. It was revisited that way with papers, highlights, and a plan of action for what I'm asking for every single year. And I would get it here and there. Sometimes I wouldn't because the boss just didn't want to give it to me. Yeah. That's it. Now I have a decision to make.
Yeah.
Do I stay or do I go? Or do I find something better or do something else on my own?
Yeah.
Right? So that's okay.
Yeah.
I've become more valuable. Hey, I'm earning, I earned 50% more than I earned last year. And that means you guys made 50% more than you made last year off of me. Therefore, can I get this so I could spend it on marketing money in my business, which in turn is going to help you. Right. So that's the approach that I've taken.
Yeah.
For young people, that's so important because the worst thing you want, like I've seen young kids get told off bad by people, like bad. And I sit there and I watch them. It's never happened to me.
Yeah.
That's never happened to me because I'm humble. It's not my place of business. I have to respect the owner that's built it to this point.
Yeah.
But I've seen people get told off because they're rude. They're not bringing much to the table. They're benefiting themselves and now they want more.
Exactly.
But they're not valuable. They're not increasing their value. They're not doing anything out of the ordinary, but they're just demanding more.
Yeah.
No, nobody will appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then when that happens here, it doesn't happen often, but when it does happen here, I don't even react to it. I just say, okay, show me what you've done. Show me how we've benefited as a company from you working with us. Show me all that, put it together so that I understand where you're coming from. And then tell me what you want.
Yeah.
Nobody ever does that. And the reason why nobody ever does that is the people who used to do that in the past are no longer here because they just couldn't make it. The moment COVID hit, they were done. That's it. The market's not good. We're not going to survive. Let's get out of here. And number two, the only time that's happened with someone was a misunderstanding on their part about the system. And everybody's so happy here with how much they earn that I never get thank God I don't get those complaints.
Yeah.
We are a smaller team, but I don't get those complaints because everybody's happy.
Exactly, for sure.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to ask, so before Millennial's Choice, you obviously worked for not obviously, but you worked for a different brokerage.
Yeah.
You obviously had a broker of record at that brokerage, and you obviously learned a few things from them and whatnot. What are some things that now, as a broker of record and leader for your team, what are some things you put in place to keep your team, your agents kind of in check? Like, how do you stay like connected with them and know what they're up to and things like that? What are some things that you do?
One of the biggest things is communication. Like we communicate all the time. I communicate with you, with Danny, with Trevor, whoever it is. I communicate with them. And the reason being is that I need to know what's going on. It's my business. It's my name. I'm the one signing the papers. I'm the one putting all the money up to do this thing. I'm the one paying the mortgage for the office. I'm the one doing this, and that, spending money on marketing and all these different things.
Yeah.
So I got to know what's going on.
It's also your reputation.
Yeah, it's my reputation. If I get a client coming in, they need my help, and I say, Danny, this is you're going to work on it, and Danny doesn't work on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the client's going to be upset at Danny, but they're going to be upset at me. I put them with Danny.
Yeah.
So that doesn't happen, but
just
as an example.
Yeah.
So with that being said, at the old brokerage, there wasn't any of that.
Yeah.
It was more of the bigger models of just, transactions, and that's it. There wasn't much of that.
Got it.
If it wasn't me doing the communication, initiating it, there wasn't any of that communication.
Got it.
Yeah. There were agents that would leave, go to the other side, go to the competition, leave the competition, go to another competition, and then leave that competitor and go back to and the broker would accept them. And I'd ask, why do you accept them? And it's just business. And it's like, no, I don't want to run that business that way.
Oh my gosh. Lots of drama.
There's so much drama. So for me, that's not how I learned as much. This is another good point. Learn as much of the things that you should be doing, as much of the things, and at the same time, learn as much as of the things you should not be doing.
Yep.
When it comes to business as well.
Yep.
See what they're doing that you like.
Yep.
You can copy that. Success leaves clues, right? And then also, if you see something they're doing that you don't like, make sure that you don't do that at your company. And I've learned a lot of those things as well.
Yes, 100%. And you're always looking at stats on the MLS, doing your homework, reading. A few months ago, we had someone in here training us. You obviously want your agents to be on the same page as you, that they know their stuff, not just like any other agent out there. You want them to know their stuff.
Absolutely. If you don't know your stuff, you won't work here.
Yeah.
No, you could work for the competition. Now, if you're new and you want training, but at the same time, you want to be able to now train, get better, and you're going to be here and you're going to do well here, no problem. But if you're not doing that, you're new, you don't want to get better, you don't want to learn. Why didn't this person give me a deal? Give me because you don't know better.
Yeah.
My old team, the guys used to ask me for a deal. You don't know. You don't even know how to analyze this deal. If I give you this deal, analyze it. You can't analyze it. So how am I going to give you a fresh deal and let you run with it? I'm not, because I'll be doing a disservice to the client mainly, which I care about, and I'll be doing you a disservice.
Yeah.
I don't care about you because you're asking me for that. So I don't care that I'm doing you a disservice, but I will be doing you a disservice. But I care more about the client now coming to me, Millennial's Choice, Matthew Ablakan, all this experience, all this hype, and then all of a sudden they get paired with somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. No, you need to learn. You need to go through the ringer and learn, get experience until you can handle a transaction or a client on your own.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This has been fantastic, by the way. All these points are fantastic. And it's obviously, you can see very well why you're so successful and why you have such a successful business. What are some final thoughts that you want to leave your listeners with?
Honestly, just a recap of the points, make sure you guys, customer service, like don't overthink it. Like be a nice person. Like just be a nice person. Your business is a reflection of you.
Yep.
Customer service is super important and it should be standard.
Yes.
Understand that without people, your business doesn't run. It's not successful. Whether it's an e-commerce business, a real estate brokerage, or whatever else, you need people in that business, whether it's staff or clients or whatever. You got to put them first. Clients, if your model is business to client, consumer, the clients come first. Understand how much it costs to get a client through the door. Understand the value of that client. Make sure that you're catering to them. Make sure that you become more valuable. You want to earn more? Become more. Earn more is a direct translation of the value and service that you bring to people. And that translates into you being able to earn more because you're helping more people with more things. Honesty, transparency, great. Not selling yourself short. Branding yourself is so important. Make sure you brand yourself just like the big companies do, and be the authority in that space. That's just a little bit of the recap of some of those things. And that's what I would say. Like, just follow that simple step. It's the key to it. I know there's a lot of discouragement and a lot of things going on nowadays. People don't want to get into business. They want the government to hand them checks. They're welcoming socialism, communism. Listen, you guys all want to be poor, equally poor. You'll be equally poor. But you can't bake your cake and eat it too. You can't get paid by the government and not expect inflation. You can't be getting a check from the government and not expect to somehow pay it back. That's not how this works. The great system of capitalism, although it has its hindrances, I would take it all day over socialism or over a hybrid model like China, which, if we're allowed to say it or not, is literally owning your property. You have to basically rent the land from the government. You don't own anything. You have to go through so many different retina scans just to get from one side of the street to the other. And there's so much government control. That's not what we want. It's called free enterprise for a reason.
Yep.
I need to be left alone, free to go do what it is I want to do. Now, of course, if somebody's doing the wrong thing, you stop them.
Of course.
There's authorities, regulators, all that stuff that you go through. But yeah, if you guys are young, you're looking to get into business, that's what you're trying to do, there's no way you're going to scam the system. And if you do, what goes around comes around, and you're going to pay for it one way or the other.
Yes, 100%. Thank you so much, Matthew. That was very informative, very great. This was a sick episode. Guys, thank you again for listening, and stay tuned for the next episode.
Yeah, thank you guys. And Sarah, you're doing a great job. So just want to applaud you.
Thanks.
Until next time, you guys, we're out.
See you guys.